what really happened was this kind of cultural awakening to what the heck was all that stuff that we were adding to food and then putting in our bodies.
There was a time when mac and cheese wasn't a side dish. It was a centerpiece. A casserole dish pulled from the oven, bubbling gold under a layer of breadcrumbs, the smell of cheddar filling the house. It wasn't neon orange, it wasn't instant, and it wasn't about convenience. It was about care. But today, that same comfort food, the one that meant warmth, home, and family, comes in a box, a packet of powdered cheese, a dash of water, 2 minutes in the microwave. Somewhere between the oven and the cardboard box, America's favorite comfort food lost something much bigger than flavor. It lost its soul. When mac and cheese meant home. Before it was a brand, mac and cheese was a ritual. Families made it by hand, boiling real macaroni, shredding real cheese, and baking it slow until the top turned crispy brown. It wasn't fancy food. It was love food. A simple, creamy dish that told your family, I took the time. For older generations, it's a memory you can almost smell. That warm, buttery aroma drifting through the house, the sound of the oven door opening, the clatter of the casserole dish on the table. Everyone gathered around, spoons ready, no phones, no rush. The recipe might have come from a grandmother, a church cookbook, or a handwritten card that had stains on the corners. That's what made it special. It wasn't just mac and cheese. It was a piece of family. You can still find those old recipes: heavy cream, sharp cheddar, a touch of mustard powder, sometimes a sprinkle of crushed Ritz crackers or breadcrumbs on top. It took time. It took care. And that's why it tasted like home. The birth of convenience. Then came the 1950s, America's age of progress. After the war, modern kitchens filled with new inventions. Instant mixes, powdered meals, canned soups. Everything promised one thing: less time in the kitchen. And in 1937, right before that boom, Kraft had already introduced something new: boxed macaroni and cheese. It was cheap, quick, and foolproof. During the Great Depression, it was called a meal for 4 in 9 minutes. By the 1950s and 60s, Kraft's blue box became a symbol of modern convenience. Mothers could feed their families fast. No baking dishes, no shredding cheese, no waiting for the oven. But in making life easier, something subtle happened. We replaced homemade cheese sauce with dehydrated powder. We swapped butter for oil, milk for water, and slowly, that warm, baked ritual turned into something instant. Mac and cheese didn't just get faster, it got flatter. From comfort to commodity. By the 1980s, boxed mac and cheese was everywhere. A lunchbox staple, a college dorm meal, a comfort shortcut. It wasn't a shared dish anymore. It was a solo snack. The packaging got brighter, the cheese powder got bolder, and the word homemade disappeared from the label. We started to see ultra creamy, extra cheesy, microwave ready, but never baked. The culture shifted. Dinner wasn't around the table anymore. It was in front of the TV, in minutes, not hours. The sound of a timer replaced the sound of laughter from the kitchen. And yet, when people think about mac and cheese, they still picture the homemade version. Because that's what their hearts remember, not the box, but the casserole. The emotional loss behind the recipe. When we say mac and cheese lost its soul, we're not just talking about ingredients. We're talking about what those ingredients represented: effort, togetherness, patience. Cooking used to mean something. You didn't just make food, you created moments. When someone made you baked mac and cheese, it meant they cared enough to take their time. Today, time is the one thing we don't give. We microwave our comfort. We rush through what used to make us slow down. That's why people say, it doesn't taste the same. It's not just flavor, it's feeling. You can't package care, you can't bottle warmth, you can't powder love. The psychology of nostalgia. Food is memory. One bite, one smell, and suddenly You're 8 years old again, sitting at the kitchen table, waiting for the cheese to brown. That's what makes this story resonate with older audiences. It's not about chemicals or calories. It's about connection. When viewers see the title, Mac and Cheese, How America's Favorite Comfort Food Lost Its Soul, they don't click for nutrition facts. They click to remember what it used to feel like. They remember the crunch of breadcrumbs, the golden crust, the way mom or dad used to say, "Careful, it's hot." And they know, deep down, that those moments don't come from a microwave. A cultural mirror. Mac and cheese is more than food. It's a reflection of how America changed. There was a time when convenience was a gift, something to help, not replace. But over time, we let convenience take the wheel. Boxed meals became the norm. Frozen dinners became routine. The kitchen, once the heart of the home, turned into just another appliance. And yet, even in this era of speed and shortcuts, mac and cheese still holds a place in our hearts. Because it's one of the few dishes that reminds us of what we've lost: time, patience, togetherness. It's proof that comfort isn't in the food itself, but in the care that goes into it. The quiet comeback. Here's the hopeful part. Mac and cheese is making a comeback. Not the boxed kind, the real kind. Across the country, people are rediscovering homemade versions. Small bakeries, diners, and food trucks are bringing back baked mac with crispy tops, gooey centers, and real cheddar. Parents are passing down old recipes again, digging up handwritten cards that start with "preheat oven to 350." Social media is filled with recipes that say, "from scratch," not "instant." It's as if we're craving more than flavor. We're craving authenticity. Maybe the pendulum is swinging back. Maybe people are realizing that the extra 20 minutes it takes to bake it is worth more than the 2 minutes it saves. Because what we're really hungry for isn't food, it's connection. The emotional close. There was a time when mac and cheese wasn't neon orange. It didn't come in a pouch. It was baked slow, and the smell filled the whole house. It wasn't just comfort food, it was comfort itself. That's the tone that brings people in, not anger, but remembrance. Because deep down, everyone misses something they didn't even realize was gone. We didn't just lose flavor, we lost time. The time to bake, the time to sit, the time to share. But maybe if we slow down a little, light that oven again, and make it the way we used to, we can bring that feeling back. The one that says, "It used to taste like home." Mac and cheese will always be America's favorite comfort food, but it used to comfort us in more ways than one. It filled our homes, not just our stomachs. It brought people together, not just fed them fast. And while boxed mac might be here to stay, the soul of it, the slow, baked, homemade kind, is still out there, waiting for us to come back to it. Because comfort food should comfort the heart, not just the clock.